When I first heard about the Emilia Perez, I was fascinated by premise a Mexican cartel boss translation into a woman, apparently conquering both the underworld and social pressure. Added the big promise of it being the musical, and I was intrigued. Could this be groundbreaking the exploration of the genre immediately, rapid the flamboyant Shavtanas? I wondered. Actually, the one yet as soon I pressed the play, I really said it. The opening scene that whips me right into the surreal of the chaotic energy. I disjointed the sense of place, the questionable, the Spanish sense, and I enjoyed the comedic vibe. Halfway through the opening number, which name drops the multiple surgeries, like a dear real all equal the travel. I remember pushing that and thinking, is this for real? One of the big considerations surrounding Emilia Perez is that the big doctor, the Jack Otter, allegedly did zero research into both cartel violence in Mexico and the trans experience. Let's be clear, you can sometimes craft a good film from a place of minimal research if you're going for a surreal or heavily stylized piece, but that usually requires a slight touch empathy, and at least some self-awarenesses from interviews and from the final product. It's apparent this film that tries to be serious commentary on identity and redemption, while also included comedic songs about the penis to vagina. The result of film that feels confessed about identity, ironic, with the censored on our character exploring her own. I'm no expert on the trust issues myself. I'm also the no historian of Mexican cartel activity, but I have read enough news to sense the film the depiction is the best romanticizes and the worst painfully naive. And other the one to tackle is the issue. Some conclusions with the trans and voices and Mexican cultural experts that could have saved him and us a lot of the heritage. Instead, we get in the movie that oceanless or done right is a mispresent major cultural and innately basic themes. Plot breakdown, a story turn between two leads. The narrative flows Rita, the lawyer we innately seems that we are the main character. Then we have the manatist Monte. We visuals the cartel boss and the who wants the translation into the moment and renames the herself Emilia Perez. Interestingly, the first 30 minutes or so revolved around Rita's life. Her dissatisfaction at work and almost a comedic montage of I don't know exactly how she got into the kidnap the cartel. Then, once Emilia steps into the stoplight, Rita's sideline reduces. Sidekick changes, stay calm, okay? While the screen focuses on Emilia's transformation, the absurd, the shift left me stretching my head. Rita's arc, the start of was the morally compromised attorney who defends the people she knows that are quickly. Then the cartel, the forgetfully is a rich her to help the manatees find a surgeon the who will the top tier hush translation. Rita's big dilemma is basically, should I take money and risk my life? So far, not so interesting, but the film really capitalizes on her inner conflicts. She flaws in the crowd in the second and third acts, overshadowed by Emilia bigger the storyline actually. Emily's journey is formally is Manatas La Monte. Emilia translation the struggle. What is the films that tries to depict and as an almost spiritual reward, complete with bankless and reminiscent of an old school mommy role. We see her grappling with that desire to reconnect with her children, whom she wants the tries the ship on the switch rolls land, and to forming an NGO to help the families locating the remains of cartel victims. It's a thought, and the movie wants to forget that before this birth, actually, Emilia was responsible for untold violence and suffering. It's a jarring moral pivot, one that is the film never fully justifies or encourages. Musical number over the top or simply off-key. We need to talk about in the songs. This comparative in the channel that played multiple snipers and practically hooting these people at how unstoppable and the primitives there are. And well, I have to agree. Big musical set pieces often revolve around comedic lines about the translation and the lump sums in the persons to move jobs and nose jobs and then infamous penis to vagina parenthood rearrange. It's another musical can tackle and the serious topic comedic wise. Look at the logic of the fallacy or cartoon the moments the book or Mormon. Difference is the tools musical so within the wit and the quasi storytelling. Here's the comedic the quick pull in the feel disconnected from the any deeper look reflection on the trans journey. One moment, we are hammered with these shallowly stereotypes, and the text next is we are stopped in the celebrating the heartfelt the moment expectations. And the film never fosters enough emotional trust for the pivot word. The representation is a problem. Actually, one of the more is the competitors in the pain main is the points to what Emilia Perez, the lump's gender, affirming surgery into the same category as part lift and nurse in jobs. While there's nothing entirely is wrong with comedy in the song about the plastic surgery, it's questionable. There returns the moments of the life-changing procedure there. And one is fraud with social stigma is the personal is signified to comedic montage. It's can someone is that of the film band, especially is the viewers who sees the experience and as integral they are in a way. Then there's the matters of the absolute family of the past and the cremas and the simply is because she's transitions. The film never addresses the guilt or the sensibilities meaningful way, and like a script wants to say, well, she would use a person, so let's give her blank slate. And the white is a whimsical is a fantasy. What is the trivializes the real issues faced with trans individuals who don't magically escape in the past simply by stepping into the new Italy, actually, as somehow not. The casting is featuring at the last two American-born actresses, and Selena Gomez as Jessie, Zoe Saldana as Rita, the plus in Spanish-born ladies Carlos Sofia Gasone, and all the partying the Mexican characters. The problem isn't that in the 4 years can never place roles outside their the nationalities. Acting about the transformation of role. Actually, it's that the film that try is the ground itself in the disconnectly is Mexican narrative but sidesteps audiences and accents very is from skin is the skin. And the dialogue essentially lapses into the awkward Spanish that feels half the format. The end result, portrayal of Mexico and the Mexican silence, the more I can the comedic stage, shoving the than a heartfelt in the cinematic piece, like a computer channel. Pilots that have the Emilia Perez ended up so many accolades. I have read the theories, and that is because our bodies, and especially international ones, one of the upper the progressive. So many large into the any film that operates in the champagne trans representation. There is also speculation that is the high profile involvement of cartoon actress and the directors previews in the awards the good might be saving the plots. After all, the industry is known for campaigns and the politics behind skin. Yet, I want to fair maybe some Academy or Golden Globes and the waters in generally see something the groundbreaking here is perhaps the appreciate and the flamboyant authenticity, or the day to find this combination of transportations and the musical number fresh enough to overshadows the film shortcomings. Personally, I suspense is a more desired appearance to forward think about it without digging and the nonsense. This is real inclusively the maths. Measure this taking the point for me is how the film the tiptoes around the horrific realization of cartel violence. Sure, it's a mission the people are benching that families never see their loved ones again. Actually, and that the cartels are behind that devastation. But once Emilia translation, the movie shiftly translations. No point is the intended. Into reductions are the feels under it. Throughout in the film saying, look, she's gotten the NGO, the helping the families frankly sure and confidently the brushing aside that she's the very person who orchestrated this the outrage in the first place. By the end, the audience's suspense celebrates her personal growth, as if her the philanthropic gusher the neutralizes her past, calmly old-fashioned. But this moral loophole is hard to show and to stand out in the moments, for better or worse. The retail toilet updations. For a moment, I thought might the signal a comedy crime the capper, kidnapping, the phone call in the restroom is a comedy golden pepper. The skin is quickly dissolved into the all-out comedic but falls and without enough to pay off. Jesse's I Need My Sleep song. This is one of the more light-hearted song, yet it's overshadowed by knowledge, and this is stuck and live orchestrated by the violent acts, the comedic opera in the rough city and of emotional death, the final car crash. The movie's plus measure the set piece and the explosive, and the crash that kills multiple the characters. The competitor's video machine take fun out and borderlines comedic. In my eyes is very important the tonal and the shifts from the cartoonish and the hijinks to life and the death certainly. The fact that the jargon rider the poisons and the technical merits. I share the possibly, believe or not. This belief is this film isn't a complete dumpster fired from technical standpoint. This cartoon cinematographics the choice. Actually likely the silver skins or the whitened shots and capturing the spots with earnest Mexican landscape. Visually, it's appealing. There is the stylist, the flair, and the color palettes. Especially, is lavish in the parties or the NGO's final gala. The editing, the while constantly is apprentice, and does the showcase some skill. The split links together, the overlapping or conversations during the phone's montage conveys in the sense of comedic tension. And the shame that these technical range aren't uncharted by a constant story, tone or well resurgence is the connect. One of the competitors sharing the jobs and was the comparing Emilia Perez to Joker 2. Let's create the real. Musical are thought well, particularly if you want them to tackle the serious subject matter. But I want the musical to balance the comedic flair with the heavy themes. And Chicago comes to the mind. My satirical, but is also nails is the undercurrent of the moral ambiguity. And Emilia Perez is the shift between comedic and the shock tones. The genuine sorrow over the murder and the kidnappings is another blessed. You're left with whiplash, in moment that feel more awkward than awful. If I want to sum up my own portions, and Emilia Perez, I just say this is a misguided attempt to boundary pushing film. I can't that Danny tries to do something different, and sometimes it even masters a spark of entering the madness, but ordinarily alone doesn't excite quickly. The masquerade representation of trans issues and the cartoon rush and the approach of Mexican cartel brutally. We talk about them a lot, Mexican cartel, I don't know. And the overall lack in the thankful is research to think what could have been the daring cinematic project. Actually, we might like this film. The perhaps viewers and enjoy a central musical at face below, or those who the simply is curious to see something extremely off the wall who might have it. People well versed the trans narratives, those knowledge about the realizes of the Mexican cartel violence, and Oranion who expects more depth from the musical that climb the champion series themes. Should you watch it? If you're intrigued by polarizing the films, the genre it hits the debate, maybe give it a change. But if you are expecting a respectful deep dive in the trans Italy or a nonsense the commentary on the cartel violence, brace yourself for the disappointment. Award committees often the champion notching of the progress, the pushing for device in the storytelling. That's great actually, but genuinely is the representation and the demands in listening the voice most affected by subject matter, be the trans experiences and the Mexican culture or any other nation of the Italy. Allowing the films that does this minimal homework then lumps in the deeply personal experiences into comedic set piece might inadvertently send the wrong message. If Emilia Perez truly claims Best Picture win, it could say more about the award system desire to appear modern about the film inherently. So there's my take. I welcome the Emilia Perez, hoping that for a while and the original musical the offer the fresh perspectives and inwardly and redemption. I felt left feeling the more confident than interactions. The caution between the spectacle of the big productions, the number and crunch of the mispirations. My biggest frustration is the senses within the just a bit more empathy, research, and sensibly is the movie could have been a game. The Awiniku. The Zansi is the musical that tackle the real world issues, and instead we got the patchwork, the story types, and versed comedic tones. The mall wasu at is the center. I have the review to help you decide whether Emilia Perez is worth your time. Let me know your thought in the comments. Are you curious to watching it after all the controversy, or would you rather skip 2 pennies to watching this musical extra ones is to avoid potential disappointment. I'd love hear your takes. As always, thank you for hanging out with me. And remember, stay curious, but maybe keep your critical glasses on this one. The hype can be misleading and flamboyant to show the number and never quite hits the right notes.